Welcome to Quack Co, where every video is 10 minutes or less, guaranteed, or double your money back. I am West, and today is Just the Tip Tuesday, where we are going to give you just the tip. Just the tip. And today's topic is how do I play more games by getting a board game table. As you can see, this beautiful table in front of me here, this table is going to allow us to play more games. And you might be asking yourself, but West, you play tons of board games already. Why would you need to play more board games? I want to play all the board games. I want all the time in the world to play more board games, and I play board games for a living. I still want to play more board games. I, like you, have a family. Well, at least hopefully you have a family. If you don't, I'm very sorry. But I have children. I have a wife. I have limited amount of space in which to do my hobby. I need a dedicated place to be able to play board games. I feel like the thing that makes this easier for everyone is if you have a space to be able to play board games on your own. In my house, I have the kitchen table. I have a tall top table that I really hate sitting at because it's very uncomfortable for fat people to sit at tall tables and let your legs fall off the edge. And then it cuts the circulation and it just makes it very uncomfortable. So I don't ever play anything at the tall table unless I absolutely have to, and I usually stand. And that is very uncomfortable. Also, there was a table downstairs in the basement that got taken over by my wife's cooking stuff because she makes amazing cakes for a living. The kitchen table has to be cleared off multiple times during the day because we eat food at that table. It also doubles as our dining room table. The tall table, I don't like playing at. It's also a square, so it really is. It's fantastic for crokinole, but that's about it. It's not a very big table, and like I said, it's tall, very uncomfortable. Downstairs in the basement, I used to have plenty of space to be able to place stuff down there. Unfortunately, with my wife's cooking, and having to decorate cakes and stuff, I lost that space as well. So I had to create a complete space just for board games. And I did that. I took a whole section of my house and I made a spot that has all my board games in it, and I also have a beautiful table in that situation as well. And it worked okay for a little while. The problem I ran into was my children still invaded that space. They would throw balls down in the basement, they would have fun, they would jump places, and then the campaign games that I wanted to play would be set up there, and they would knock stuff off. They would move things. They would come into the room and they would say, "Oh, it's okay, Daddy, I won't bump your table." Boom, and then they bang into the side of the table and stuff falls all over the place. So what I found was that if I were able to use a board game table with an indentation that I could then place leaves over top of, at the majority of the situations, even if they bumped it, it wouldn't move things too much, and it would be able to keep that space safe, and I could just put the cover over top of it, and then nobody would bother it. It also allows me to keep those campaign games going, and I don't have to put them away, because saving a campaign game or even a legacy game is so challenging most of the time. So having an opportunity to be able to do that is fantastic, and it will allow you, believe it or not, to play at least twice as many games as you're playing right now, because you don't think about how much time it takes to set things up and put stuff away. The majority of the games that you and I play take at least 15 to 20 minutes to set up, and they take at least that to take them down. If you can just throw a cover back on top of that table, you are saving yourself an hour for every game that you play. Think about that for a minute. How many more games can you play if for every game you played, you get to take an hour away from that time frame? It's amazing. It's freeing. I cannot tell you how impressed and amazing it is. And here at Quackalope headquarters, we have this absolutely gorgeous table. Some of you may have seen it at this point. Some of you have seen some of the insides of this as well. This is a bandpass table. It is the Dresden table. It is droolingly gorgeous. I am in love with this table, and if I could afford one, I would buy it tomorrow. However, it is very expensive. I think this is like an $8,000 or a $10,000 table. It's probably out of the range for most people, and I understand that. If you have a dining room, you probably need a beautiful table to be in your dining room. Why not make that a board game table? I'm throwing it out there. This table, absolutely gorgeous. It is 8 feet wide, and it is over 4 feet deep, okay? From front to back, that is an incredibly big table. You could easily fit 8 people at this table. You could probably fit 10 without too much trouble. It is a gorgeous table. You could easily make this your dining room table. And I know a lot of people out there who spend $5,000 to $6,000 on their dining room table. You can do that and still buy an absolutely beautiful table and make it a gaming table as well. And then you just put your game underneath it. And then when you need to have dinner, you can just put your top back on it and nothing is the wiser. It's relatively safe as far as drinks and stuff that go through. It's not perfect, but there are some that actually have meated pieces where they slot in and will keep the majority of water out completely. They're almost waterproof, but most of these have pretty well joining areas. Like even this one just has a tiny little space in between, so water's not going to slide in that easily anyway. But it will allow you to actually keep that campaign going. And with a table this size, guess what you can do? You can have one game saved over here, and you can have another game saved over here, because you have a 4-foot area over here and another 4-foot area over here. The amount of time that you can save yourself. You can have 2 games going at the same time. You and your family love to play a campaign game? Great! Have it set up on this side of the table. You can actually leave the leaves on this side and still be able to eat food over here. And then you have a game that you want to solo. Are you ready to play Tainted Grail? Do you want to get through Etherfields? Or are you looking to finally get Kingdom Death onto the table? Or you just got Frosthaven in and you can't wait to play it? Congratulations. Put it on this side of the table. You can do your solo stuff all you want over here on this side, while the family's game is still going on over here, and everybody can eat at the same time. Amazing. Absolutely incredible options. A game table will make you play more games. It will help you play more games. It is a justifiable expense if you combine it with something in your house that you already have. A dining room table, you need one anyway. Does it make sense to buy a board game table? I say yes. I really do. I didn't think it would make that much difference in my life, but I can promise you it does. It really, really does. And here at Quackalope, guess why we have one? Because we want to play campaign games. And we've dedicated time. We wanted to figure out how can we fully play through campaign games. Get to the point where we're spending 40, 50 hours playing through some campaign games. And how can we do that? The way we get to do that is by having a board game table here. Underneath this table right now, Frosthaven. It's sitting there. We're playing it. That's what it's for. But we're still able to film stuff on top of it because we have a board game table. It makes sense. If you're able to afford it, I highly recommend it. Do you have a board game table? Has it made sense for you? Write in the comments below. Tell us about your experience with a board game table. Or at the very least, a space for your games. If you can't afford a board game table, I understand. They're very expensive. There are some options out there. There's recently a Kickstarter for like $400, I think, for a board game table after you did all the other stuff. The Jasper, I want to say, delivered to your house is under $1,200 with a top and a whole bunch of accessories. You can get it for around $900 with the top on it. I think it's 3.5 feet by 6 or something like that. That's a good sized table. There are options out there. Take a look, see what you could find. What's your experience with a board game table? Let me know. I'm excited to hear. I want to know more. Tell me more about you. Until the next time, though, thank you for being here. Thank you for Just the Tip Tuesday. I'm very excited for it. I hope you enjoy the format. And until next time, enjoy yourselves. Do what's the sign off on this? I don't know. I'll make it up for my own.
Less time watching means more time playing.
Thank you, disconnected voice from the past. Less time watching means more time playing. Thank you for that. That's great. Appreciate it.